What's going on, y'all? It's your boy O Scruggs, Omar, back at it again. OS Sports Podcast. Let's talk about it. So a lot has happened since last time I was on here. About 5 days ago, I think last time I was on here. NBA Finals have come to a wrap. We have a new, pun intended, we have with the rap. We have a new champion, Toronto Raptors. Now I got a lot of thoughts on it because a lot has happened. It's been kind of a soap opera since the beginning of the finals. This whole season kind of been a soap opera to be honest, but let's focus on the finals. So we had the Raptors finally closing it out, winning in Game 6, which came to an end kind of like the series went with a serious injury, as we all know by now. Klay Thompson went down in the middle of the game with a torn ACL, and it's sad because we really didn't get to see this finals go at full strength for both teams. You had Kevin Durant hurt, who tried to play that game that basically just played the quarter and a half like we spoke about before, and then you had Clay, who had already missed the game with the hamstring, and then they come back this game in a game where he was scorching hot. I believe he had 30 points at the time, and it was about midway through the third quarter. He had 30 points already, and he was on fire, and he basically was leading the Golden State to what could have been a victory to force a Game 7. And it's crazy that he was injured on a dunk because that's not even what they're known for. The Splash Brothers are known for hitting those threes. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're known for. The light skinned assassins, the greatest shooting backcourt in NBA history. So to see him go down on the dunk, I mean, it was sad enough, but it was also just, if you would have thought Klay Thompson got injured, I think most people, if you didn't know, you would have figured he was shooting a three, and somebody put their foot out and he landed wrong with somebody's foot, like that rule they had now because of Petrulia. But that wasn't the case. And when I seen it live, when I seen him go up for that dunk and the way he came down on his leg, you knew instantly, like, yeah, that's not good. I seen the way his leg bent, so I knew instantly. I said that's the ACL. Maybe he dislocated his kneecap, maybe he broke his kneecap, something like that. But you knew it was bad. And I got to give Klay credit because he went back into the locker room and he tried to walk it off, tried to run it off. And then, the NBA has this rule: if you get injured and you're fouled, you have to shoot the foul shot or you can't come back in. So as we seen him we thought he was gonna pull a Willis Reed. If you don't know what the Willis Reed story is, youngsters or people that just don't know their NBA history, go back. New York Knicks, I believe it was '72. So when he came back out that locker room, I was like, oh, he's coming back out. Okay, cool. I can respect that. And he shot the free throws, and you see he tried to stay in the game, but they was like, no, you can't play. And the word is, I think Stephen A. Smith reported that Klay Thompson's father, if you don't know, who also played in the NBA back in the day, was back there in the hallway, and he was, yelling to Klay, "Did you hear a pop? Did you hear a pop?" And Klay said, "Yeah." And it would have been interesting to see if his father wasn't back there, if they would have tried to let him play. I can see that going either way with the controversy with them letting Durant play and how that turned out. I assume that they wouldn't have risked it with Klay, even for a championship. But hey, you never know. But I give Klay credit because a lot of people look at Steph and Klay. They say they the pretty light skinned dudes that shoot all the pretty threes. But Klay Thompson showed a lot of heart that he was going to actually get back out there and try to play, because athletes know their bodies better than anybody else, better than most of us. When your body and your physical ability is how you make a living, you learn your body a lot. And these guys play basketball, all their lives, so they kind of know when they've injured something serious and it's something that they shouldn't play through, and when they've injured something that they probably can play through. And of course, doctors come in and give them their opinion on the situation or whatever. So I give credit to him. I feel like we got jinxed because we didn't see this finals the way it should have been. Even if KD didn't play, the fact that Klay missed basically a whole game and then another game and a half, so we really got robbed. And I don't want to take anything away from Toronto, but if KD and Klay would have played, I would have took Golden State in 6 games, maybe 5. But that ain't the case. And I got to give props to Toronto in a few areas. It's ironic that Kawhi Leonard came over to Toronto from the Spurs, because when I look at how the Spurs played in their heyday with Tim Duncan and then moving on to Kawhi and Ginobili and Parker, I feel like that's kind of the way Toronto played. Even though Kawhi is a superstar, they didn't play a one-on-one brand of basketball. It wasn't like those finals you had with LeBron with Cleveland going up against Golden State. One time where Kyrie was injured and didn't play, and then another time where Kyrie did play, but it still was kind of like just LeBron and Kyrie doing most of the scoring, and especially those times when it was just LeBron. It was basically like, all right, I'm gonna control everything, and everything's gonna play off me. And it wasn't like that with Toronto. They genuinely on offense and defense play a team style of basketball, and you'll have somebody like Kawhi or Siakam that'll take over in spurts and do their thing if they're hot. Even Kyle Lowry to a certain extent. But for the most part, offense and defense, they play sound basketball. They don't beat themselves. That's why they were so good this year. They don't beat themselves. They don't do a lot of turnovers. Everybody kind of knows their assignments, and especially on defense, they all play their assignments and they play them well. Kawhi is a great one-on-one defender. Gasol, in his heyday, was a pretty good one-on-one defender. He's a little older now, but still a pretty sound. He's not the most athletic big man, but he's very sound and he's strong, and he knows the opposition. He knows who he's going against. He knows their move, what they like to go to. So they're a very smart team, and it showed the way they play. And you got to give their general manager a lot of credit too, because everybody said Kawhi is going to LA next year no matter what. Before the season started, that was set in stone. He's going to the Lakers or he's going to the Clippers no matter what happens. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Kawhi does, because I don't know if he went into Toronto this year thinking they could win a championship, and maybe he figured, all right, we probably could be a good team, make the playoffs, but maybe not win a championship. So I'm just here for a year. I'll make the most of it. But the fact that they went in there and actually won the championship shows you a whole lot, that you never know the future. You go into a situation thinking you know how it's going to play out, but you never know. So it's going to be interesting to see if Kawhi really sticks to, look, I'm going to LA and that's set in stone even though we won the championship. Or does now Kawhi sit back and say, hey, all right, we won the championship here. How can I lead this team? Pretty much we have our whole team coming back. I think we can do it again. And I think it's going to come down to, in Kawhi's heart, do you want to be the big fish in a small pond? That small pond means Canada. They're the only team in Canada. I believe the state of California has more people than the whole country of Canada. I could be wrong on that, but I think they do. It's pretty close. So it's a case of, do you want to be the man in Canada, maybe win another championship, and own the whole country, or do you want to go to LA where they already got LeBron, they just got AD, and we're gonna talk about AD in a little bit, and try to be a big fish in the biggest, in the biggest market, so in the biggest pond. So it all depends. My gut feeling is that he's gonna stay in Toronto. That's just the gut feeling. I could be totally wrong. So we'll see. And I actually, as a Sixers fan, I guess I would prefer he goes to LA, because that means the road just to get to the finals is easier. Because the thing is, you could have 10 great teams in the West and one great team in the East. That great team in the East only has to beat that one team in the West to win a championship. You don't have to go through all 10 teams that are great. So it would make the East weaker. But the competitive side of me also would say, all right, well, let's see if my Sixers come back and overtake Toronto, because we did go 7 games with them. We gave them the biggest, test they had in the playoffs. But we'll see what happens. So salute to Toronto for winning the championship. I didn't really have a rooting interest, but I guess maybe I lean a little bit towards Toronto because I seen Golden State in the finals last 5 years and win 3. And mainly with Toronto because Kyle Lowry is from Philly. So, I was rooting for the hometown kid. So the other big news that just happened the other day, Anthony Davis is officially with the Lakers. During the season, they were trying to get the trade completed to get him over there. And it was real dramatic. Basically, the story came out that their GM that they fired was like, well, I'm not trading with the Lakers. Why would I help the Lakers out? Why would I help the franchise that's already famous and got 1 million championships? Why would I help them out, even if it's at the risk of maybe not helping my own team? Because Anthony Davis made it clear that he wasn't re-signing. They had him for one more year in the contract, but after that he was gone. So if they wouldn't have traded for him either this year, this offseason, or next year, he would have walked for nothing. And his agent, Rich Paul, who's also LeBron's agent, them guys are. It's not even low key no more, but they're somewhat running the NBA, whether directly or indirectly, and they got their mission accomplished. They got AD over to the Lakers, and they gave up a lot. They gave up a whole lot to get AD. Lonzo Ball. That's almost like trading two people. You traded Lonzo Ball and LeVar Ball at once. Who else they trade? 3 first-round draft picks, and I forgot Hart. They traded Hart, who played at Villanova. So they gave up a whole lot to get him. Kyle Kuzma was said to be the player that was holding up the trade. The Lakers was saying, we're not getting rid of Kyle Kuzma. He can't be part of the package. He can't be part of the deal. So they was able to keep Kuzma, get AD. But like I said, they gave up a lot. They give up Lonzo Ball. They give up Hart. Brandon Ingram, who a lot of people was the number 2 pick in the draft. So they gave up 2 number 2 picks in the draft, basically, that they already had on the team with Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram. And we'll see. I actually think it's a good trade for both teams because the Lakers are in a win now mode. LeBron has, I say, maybe 2, 3 at the most years of still being a top 5 player because he's just purely out of getting older. So the Lakers are in go for it now mode, and the Lakers have a history of bringing in big name free agents, especially centers. If you go back to Wilt Chamberlain going there back in the '60s, then you go to Shaq going there. Dwight Howard, that didn't work out, and now AD. So they have a history of getting big men, and they've won the championship with all those big men except Dwight Howard. So we'll see how this works out. Me being a Lakers hater, I'm a Lakers hater, I'm a Celtics hater. I hate all the evil empires, hate the Cowboys, Yankees, hate all of them. So we'll see how that plays out. And with the injuries to Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, now with AD going to the Lakers, you still got other people that had that chance to be free agents if they opt out, with Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris. We'll see what happens with how all these dominoes fall with so many things changing over the last month with the injuries to Kevin Durant, who's going to be the most sought after free agent, with Kawhi Leonard now winning the championship but being a free agent, or having an option to be a free agent. What does he do? What is Jimmy Butler going to do? Tobias Harris. And Kemba Walker, that's the other one. That's the new piece they're saying. They think the Lakers are going to go after. Kemba Walker is going to be that third piece of their big 3. But Kemba Walker has come out and said that he's actually even willing to take a pay cut to stay in Carolina and Charlotte to help the team be able to build and pick up more free agents. So we'll see if Kemba is the type person that would say, look, I can get the max. I can get more with staying at home than I can with going to another team. But if I go to another team like the Lakers, maybe I got a chance to win quicker and more instantly. Or do I stay with the team that drafted me in Charlotte and even be willing to take a pay cut? What I believe Kemba's going to do, I actually think Kemba is going to stay in Charlotte, but I think he's not going to take that pay cut. I think that's kind of going to be where they come to agreement down the middle with him and Charlotte. All right, we'll give you the full amount. We don't even need you to take a pay cut. We'll find a way to build around you still. We'll work the salary cap a certain way. So that just some extra incentive to stay with us versus leaving to go to the Lakers. We'll still give you max money, but we'll still find a way to get other free agents through the draft and build around you. So we'll see how everything plays out, and it's going to be an interesting offseason. And of course, I'm going to have more videos coming discussing all of these topics. And please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. This is a new page. We're going to have a lot more content coming. We're going to get it running. We're going to do some stuff out in the field. Sometimes we're going to be in the studio, my podcast studio. We'll be in different places, all over New York. We'll be in Philly sometimes, Atlantic City, different places. We're going to go, and I'll be reporting on. Coming up this Thursday, the NBA draft is happening, which is actually at Barclays, which is about 15 minutes from where I'm at right now. I'm in Brooklyn. So I'll be down there at Barclays. I'll be recording live and we'll have that for the page outside the Barclays Center. I go down there since I've been in New York. So the last 4 years I've been down there for the NBA draft, and it's a nice little event. I'm not gonna go inside. I'm not doing all that. You know what I mean? But one day I will have that press credential to go inside and actually cover it from the inside. But we'll be out in the parking lot. All the TV cameras out there. You get people from all over the country that come to the NBA draft. So maybe we'll get some interviews with some folks while we out there, and I'll just show you what the environment is like outside the Barclays or the NBA draft is. Give you a better view of it than they do on TV, because on TV they just give you little clips. So we'll have that, and we'll talk more about the draft. NFL is on break right now. The OTAs are over with. So later on in the year, we're gonna have a lot more on the NFL. Also want to shout out the St. Louis Blues, who won their first Stanley Cup, and which is crazy because we had two teams in basketball and in hockey win their first championship in back-to-back nights. So shout out to St. Louis Blues winning that championship, and that was a great series. Game 7 it came down to, and the Blues came out, and I remember watching that first period. I don't know how many hockey fans we got, but I think more than any of the other 4 major sports, the intensity and the quality of play goes up so much more NHL regular season to NHL playoffs. I think the drastic difference in that sport is more than the other 3 major sports. So and I've been watching that goaltender was that first period. Boston I think had 8 shots on goal, and maybe in like the first 5 minutes, and they goaltender was shutting all of that down. So I had to give them props for that. And me also being a Boston hater, I was happy to see the Bruins take that L. So anyway, like I said, next time you see me, I'll be checking in live from Barclays NBA Draft. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tell a friend, tell a mom, tell a dad, tell everybody. Start checking out the page. You're going to have much more content coming soon. Omar Scruggs, OS Sports Podcast. Peace.